Use just all sorts of different facets of my own personality laid out for people to enjoy, and hopefully one or more of those things sticks and you folks find something to really enjoy with it. If not, I'm not afraid to fail. That's why I'm here. You could tell me, you could all 1-star this video and tell me to go fuck myself, and I would still be at least happy that I put this out here, and that as I go along, maybe you'll 1-star me a little bit less and maybe tell me to fuck off a little bit less. At least I think I want to set some things straight, because in some future reviews I'm probably going to use some very sexist jokes. I may even throw in a racist joke or two, but I try to do things within taste, of course. So I would hope that I don't have to say this again in any sort of future video or sense when I say that I'm not racist, I'm not a bigot, I'm not sexist. I was raised in a feminist household, mostly by my mother. I share most of her values, though I think I'm a little more sex positive than her, but I digress. In terms of claims of bigotry, where do I even begin? I mean, my son is multiracial. My ex is a Native American woman. I've dated a black woman. I've dated a Vietnamese woman. I've even dated a Mexican or two. I mean, pretty much I've been around the spectrum of people. I don't care where you're from. I don't care your sex, your creed, your sexual preference, any of that. If you're a dick, then we're not going to get along very well, okay? But, I mean, if you're who you are, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is how you are inside, and the type of person you are inside. And so, I'm not saying that my experiences give me an excuse to make such jokes and things of that nature, but frankly, if you're going to try to throw that label on me, understand how very, very much it's not going to stick, because it's not the type of person that I am. I may be an entertainer, and in the guise of doing a character, I might use certain things like that, but anything and everything is done in a parody or a done for laughs, though I will try to be responsible with my media. Don't think I'm just going to start throwing out N-words left and right, or that I'm going to try to really rally people up here. That's not my purpose here. But understand, I do have a healthy respect for women, though I do find a lot of them quite attractive, but and that I'm not a bigot, I'm not a racist. I really intolerant towards both of those particular things, but if it's done tastefully, I kind of have to subscribe to the George Carlin school of comedy in certain forms and fashions where, something may be offensive, but if it's done right and it's done funny and to a degree with an ode of respect, then I don't really honestly see what the problem should be about, So, just kind of clearing that up, giving you a basic idea of kind of the person that I am outside of what you'll find out on my other channel, and understand that I tend to be a respectable person when it comes to all sorts of things, from ideals and other things, but if I find something funny to work with or something, and again, or something is within character, then I'm not going to hesitate to use it just because it's a sensitive matter or things of that nature. So just be aware of it, you know. Hopefully I don't offend a whole lot of you, but if I do, I don't know what you're going to want from me in that, because I find, unfortunately, a lot of things these days are overly sensitive, and I don't see a reason for it. If it's funny, it should be funny, no matter what the main context is. Now, if it's used to belittle somebody, which is not something that I would do, then yes, I could understand where, hey, that was wrong, my bad, kind of thing. Well, no one's really said it to me yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decided to be the first. And it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and you're welcome, of course, to try and engage me with that. But this is entertainment. This is my entertainment. I work the line between working blue and between working in more respectable comedy, because I am a marriage of all of these. For as much as I am Monty Python, I'm a bit of a whoopee cushion being squeezed by a redneck kind of comedy. I try to balance it out, but I don't see using one without the other, because oftentimes that's how my comedy works, and maybe it doesn't work for you, and so maybe you shouldn't watch me in that sense, if that's the kind of person you are, where you really get upset about characters or jokes that aren't designed to be offensive, but someone might take offense to it. So that's all I wanted to say on that subject, really. Just kind of clear the air on that, because I don't have anything really scripted yet in that context, but I wouldn't put it past me, as characters evolve and as situations in the show evolves, into where it might go with things. So just FYI. So I'm sure you're saying to yourself, well, here's the set, here's the man, we've barely seen any product yet, and we also have questions. Probably the chiefest of your questions to me is going to be, what the fuck is up with your teeth? Well, let me make a long story short, and the moral of the story is, I'm an idiot. But yes, as a teenager, I got mixed up with a girl who I thought was the one. And after a particularly nasty breakup, being a hopeless romantic as I was, I figured if the one didn't want me, then who would? So very stupidly, for a few months, I stopped brushing. And by the time that I came to my senses about taking care of my teeth, because the damage was done and it was already too late, and there's a lot of extensive damage done there, quite costly, and so that's why at this particular point in time right now I haven't been able to fix it. I'm not ashamed of it so much. I wish I hadn't done it, but then again, I've served as a great example to my son about taking care of your teeth, and should be one to you as well. This is not something you want to do to yourself, especially not over somebody, whether they be a man, woman, or aardvark. I don't know. Point is, I'm not sensitive about it anymore. It happened. I can't take it back. I can fix it at some point, and do plan to do so when I'm making that kind of money, but for now, it is what it is. And so any comments trying to discourage me based off of my teeth are going to be pretty much ignored. I've come to be comfortable with it, and if it bothers you, then I don't know what to say. I'm not sorry. It's I'm not going to apologize for something that I did to myself that's had its effect on me. But I'd like to think that the product will transcend itself enough with enough polish that basically this won't even be all that noticeable to you over time. Which probably leads me to the second question you're probably going to ask, and probably the last of the probably more personal questions that I tend to answer in this particular series here. That being, I'm a single parent, and do I have custody of my son? Things of that nature. Let's just say luck was on my child's side. At the time, I was the more responsible parent, and so luckily my son has been awarded to me, for the time being, so that I can take care of him the way that I feel a boy should be raised and taken care of, while the other party involved kind of gets themselves together. Beyond that, I don't think you really need to know much more about that whole situation. What's there to say? I'm a devoted father who was doing his best on his own to raise a very good child who so far has surpassed any of my expectations and is taken things pretty much by storm. He's I really couldn't ask for a better son, and before I get all gushy and everything, I'm just, despite being a single parent and the hardships of that particular thing, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm very happy to be a parent, and I just am happy. I love seeing the process of my son grow up, and seeing his intellect grow and his personality form and all that fun stuff. So yeah, mistakes have been made, but I'm here now. I've been developing myself and my personality over long periods of time, and that's kind of sort of the thing about me that I guess is sort of the strange thing that I guess sets me apart from a lot of people. I'm a character, I do things to entertain my son. I do different voices, I can kind of make my voice go real low and kind of make it sound completely different than it used to think, and sort of change some of my mannerisms so that, things are a little different there. And then, sometimes I'm just spontaneously goofy and think up just words and things to say and entertain my son, who's always been one of the biggest influences towards me furthering my development of self and growing and everything. And so, it's part of what makes me me, and I wouldn't trade that as well. I'm weird, I'm different, I'm odd, but I like to think that that's the qualities that's going to make this series that much more enjoyable for you, the audience. Now, I'm an all-around kind of lover of things. I don't hate things in terms of like entertainment just because it's cool to hate it. I tend to try to look at things and see, okay, is this really good? Is this really bad? What do I feel about it? And I'm going to try to give you as honest and somewhat entertaining way of figuring out what something is about and why I like it. In fact, you may be asking about the name. It's one that I made up for a comic book company that I'd hoped to start at one point in my life. It's a name that I tend to like. It may not quite stick well with all of you, but it's something that I consider to be, if I was gonna start off and introduce my product to the world, that was the name that I wanted on it. Outside of that, if you folks have any questions, please post them in the link bar below. I'll see you in the next video. This is Bad Cop 69 signing off.